MOD.
What do you think is the key to achieving our goals, our success? Some people suggest things like hard work, focus, persistence. But research shows these are all byproducts of something else, something much more powerful that we can all develop.
Your mind. You have to be able, like, if your mind starts getting anxious, okay, I know we're getting weird, it's time to work out. Okay, I know maybe we should meditate, maybe we should do this, maybe we should do that. Don't just keep scrolling. You gotta know when, but most people don't have that kind of self-control and discipline.
Your mind has to be stronger than your feelings. Your mind has to be stronger than your feelings. Think about every poor decision you've made in your life. There was more emotion that was involved in it than there was mind. Every single one of them. Think about it. Your feelings keep you in bed. Your mind tells you, get up.
Our mind, it's a box of surprises, and you have to challenge yourself to be consistent. I repeat, sometimes it's hard. It's what many people say, you like to go to the gym every day. Of course, no. It's not true. Nobody likes to go to the gym every day. But you have to do it. Probably yes, because your mental strength is coming from that.
How you gain mental toughness, how you become the person you want to be, is constantly facing the things that you don't want to face. If you constantly run away from things that you don't want to face, how is there growth?
They hate it. They hate the struggle. They hate the suck. But if you ever work with elite army people, they have this great saying, right? Especially the Green Berets, I love that saying. They say you have to embrace the suck.
Commit to do what you say you're going to do. From this day forward, if you say you're going to do it, you do it. So if you're anxious when you hear that because you're like, that's tough. Well, just remember that you're the only person that gets to decide what you agree to or don't agree to. So just quit agreeing to everything if you're so worried about it. Like, really think about what you're going to commit to. We're taught to set these high goals. And if I set a goal that I'm going to make 100,000 this month, and I come in at 95,000, that's a loss. I didn't get to the 100 and I lost. Now everyone will rationalize and tell me how close I got and how good the effort was, but at the end of the day, it's a loss. And the subconscious mind records it as an L. So you gotta lower your goals. No one will tell you this, but trust me, you gotta lower your goals to something that you know you can achieve. Can you walk one more mile? Can you eat one less French fry? Can you make one more phone call? Can you do this much more than you did before? And the answer is, of course I can. Okay, then set your goal there and start racking up the wins.
Everything counts. Everything that you do counts. The biggest mistake that people make is they think that only what they want to count counts. Well, when you read a book, when you listen to an audio program, when you go to a course, when you go to bed early and get up early and you work, it all counts.
Say what you can do what you say. You can't do it, don't say you can do it. Don't over leverage yourself. Don't over leverage a decision and then jump in and kind of dip a toe. I think I'll try it out. No, think if you're going to try it out beforehand, but when it's time to go, dive.
Otherwise, don't even start. If you're going to try, go all the way. This could mean losing girlfriends, wives, relatives. It could mean not eating for 3 or 4 days. It could mean freezing at a park bench or a test of your endurance, or how much you really want to do it. And you'll do it, despite rejection and the worst odds, and it will be better than anything you can imagine. If you're going to try, go all the way.
Why? Because once the mind knows you're not going to quit something, it's going to try to find more. It's going to try to give you more. Once it realizes you're not going to take the path of least resistance, you're going to stay here until it's done. My mind and my body and my spirit became one for the first time ever. For the first time ever, it became one. And I went to a level that I never thought was humanly possible for myself or anybody else.
Just when you think you can't take any more, that means you're about a third of the way to your limits as a human, as a species. Learning that as a young man or woman is a blessing, because what it means is you have the confidence that when things are hard, physically, emotionally, mentally, you realize, oh my God, I could take so much more and still be fine. And when I worked, my first job was at Morgan Stanley in West Bank, and I was undereducated relative to my peer group. So I wasn't as skilled as my peer group. So I decided every Tuesday morning I was going to come into work, and I wasn't going to leave till Wednesday night. And I'm like, I can do that. I'm physically really strong. I'm mentally really strong. And it sent a signal to the rest of the organization that I came to play. Develop that kind of grit and strength emotionally, physically, and intellectually. You're capable of it. You're just going to look back on that era and like just marvel at how out of control strong you are, both mentally and physically.
And that's what separates sometimes the people that do things from the people that just dream about them. You gotta act.
Action is the key to everything. Even if you take the wrong action, if you keep changing your approach, you can succeed in anything. The problem is most people live in their head. They have their dream, they have their goal, they have the desire, they get hyped up about it, they get fearful about it, and they just don't execute.
If you ask people, older people, to look back on their life and to list their regrets, it's much more common for them to have serious regrets about chances they didn't take than failures that they experienced. Thing about failure is a weird thing, because my experience in life has been that nothing I ever actually did failed. It didn't necessarily produce the result that I intended when I intended it. But if it was a genuine effort and I followed through on it, there was some benefit that emerged in consequence of that justified the effort, and sometimes that was quite a long time later. Maybe what you learn is how you could have done it better or how you could do it better, but you're going to learn something.
He said, but imagine, if you will, being on your deathbed and standing around your bed, the ghosts and the dreams, the ideas, the abilities, the talents given to you by life, you for whatever reason. You never pursued those dreams. You never acted on those ideas. You never used those gifts. And there they are standing around your bed looking at you with large angry eyes saying, we came to you. And only you could have given us life. And now we must die with you forever. And the question is, if you died today, what dreams, what ideas, what leadership, what books, what gifts will die with you? Very good friend that I lost recently, Miles Monroe, said, the wealthiest place on the planet is not in the Far East where there's oil in the ground. It's not in South Africa where there are diamond mines. It's that the wealthiest place on the planet is the cemetery. There you find potential never realized. There you find dreams never pursued. There you find people allow themselves to be imprisoned by fear and living a small life. Maybe that's why one woman asked in a moment of anguish, what if you live your whole life only to discover it was wrong? Maybe that's why Henry David Thoreau said, oh God, to reach the point of death, only to realize that you've never lived, only to realize that you've never scraped the surface of your potential.